Because we're 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks actually now, to file your taxes. Monday, April 18th is the deadline. There are key differences this year in how some benefits and tax credits are accounted for. So speaking of accounting, let's bring in CPA Gene Marks to break it all down for us. Hi, Gene. Good morning. Uh-oh, I made the accountant laugh. We're off to a good start this morning.
Yeah, it's been a busy tax season, as you can imagine. You know, the IRS is so far behind on their processing that we have been really after our clients to get their information in so we can file these returns as soon as possible.
We've been hearing a lot about the delays. How far back are we as far as delays and most importantly for people filing, how long until we would get our money?
A pretty long time. The IRS in early February said they were behind by, they had 17 million unprocessed returns, and the usual time for a refund is about 21 days. So if you're expecting a refund, you're probably not going to get it within 21 days. We have some clients that are reporting, months until they're getting their refunds in. And that's all because of the processing delays that are involved. So, my advice to you, Steve, and to your viewers as well, get your filings in as soon as possible, and if possible, file electronically as well, because that will speed up the process for getting your refund in. It's very, very important.
Yeah, are some of those, and we've heard that so often, and I think most people will take advantage of the electronic filing if they can. There's definitely more opportunities to do so than we used to have. But are those delays you're talking about, does that include the electronic filing, or is that just mostly for people who are still mailing in returns?
It's affecting the people that are mailing in their returns more, but it is still impacting even people that are electronically filing. But if you do file electronically, it does give you a heads up, or a head start on the other ones that are doing it manually. So that's why we're telling all of our clients, you got to make sure you're filing electronically. The other thing is that, like you had mentioned, the deadline is April 18th. Please remember that, even if you don't have everything together and you can't file by April 18th, you can still extend your tax forms until October 17th. It's a form 4868 that you will file. Just make sure that your taxes are all paid up for 2021, and then you can give yourself 6 months to actually get the returns filed. So
all right, Gene, let's talk about a couple of changes, and we'll try to do this in a concise way because it's early in the morning and it's a Monday, and we don't want people to be
We're not going to get in the weeds too far.
Right, zoned out. But there have been some changes based on what we got used to the last couple of years with the pandemic as far as what you can claim or what might be impacted. Yeah. We're talking about things like whether you got paid unemployment, whether you took a child tax credit, things that a lot of viewers did.
So let me sum this up as easily as possible. Okay, if you got unemployment compensation in this past year, remember that 100% of it is taxable. It was not taxable the year before because of some COVID stimulation, but in 2021, your unemployment compensation is taxable. So that's number one. Number two, if you did receive a stimulus check during 2021, those are generally not taxable. You should have received a letter from the IRS alerting you of this, but stimulus payments are not taxable. The third thing I just want you to make aware is that if you took advantage of the child tax credit in 2021, it was much bigger in 2021. It's reverting back to its original amount this year, but just be careful because a lot of people got paid out that tax credit in the second half of 2021. So your credit actually is going to have a lesser effect on your taxes when you actually file the returns this year. In other words, you might owe a little bit more money than you thought you were going to owe because you got the credit paid out in 2021.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Or you got the checks already, and so your refund that you typically get might be half the size of what it would have been before because you already got some of that money. Real quick, okay, we'll also use this as a time to prepare for next year. Changes on the horizon this year with the tax structure? Anything we can do now to prepare for next year?
Nothing significant for 2022, which is good news. It's just that a lot of the things that we're used to in 2021 aren't going to be around anymore. Like we said, child care tax credit and rules like that. Tax rates themselves are generally going to be about the same. The only thing I could just urge you to do, everyone, is I know April 18th, you got to get your tax forms in. Give it a month or two. Get together with your accountant in May or June. Plan out the year. Have some little advanced planning. It'll make your tax year that much more easier when the end of 2022 comes along.
Yeah, and learn like I did the hard way. Get that folder at the very least to throw everything in throughout the year so you're not searching for everything at the end. Gene, thanks very much. I appreciate your time this morning, and I know you're busy this time of year, so thank you very much.